Thomas Westbrook here. Have you ever wondered, why are atheists waging war on Christmas?
In the Culture War segment tonight, the war on Christmas.
It isn't a mythical war on Christmas. It's real.
The war on Christmas
It's waging a war against Christmas.
If only Christians had free speech. The freedom to say Merry Christmas. If only they could put up nativity sets, crosses, and angels publicly in their front yard. If only they could purchase their holy book at public stores in this country, or possibly, one day, be able to get one for free in hotel rooms across America, or worship openly in any of 2 or 10 or 100 churches on the same street? If only Christians weren't so heavily persecuted. If only. Look, I get it. A few companies encourage their employees to use the phrase Happy Holidays because it includes people who celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, Yule, Christmas, and a myriad of other holidays that fall at or around the winter solstice. And from a business standpoint, that makes perfect sense. But did I miss something? Why is Happy Holidays so offensive to Christians? Since when did Christmas stop being a holiday? Or is it not supposed to be happy anymore? As far as Christmas being a Christian holiday, you do realize that most of the traditions we celebrate on December 25th have pagan origins, right? And even Christian scholars agree that Jesus wasn't born in December.
We don't say happy holidays for Valentine's Day, and arguably February is the month with the most holidays.
Well, that's not true. December with over 40 holidays has more than any other month. And that's not even counting New Year's or all the winter holidays that fall in early January. February has about 10, if I'm being generous. And that includes Darwin Day and International Condom Day. We don't take off several weeks from school and work for them. Why is December special? Well, that's because the winter solstice marks the longest night of the year. People come together during the darkest time to laugh and feast and celebrate making it halfway through the bitter cold and dark of winter. As an atheist, I love Christmas. Granted, the religious aspects are the worst part that nobody likes, but I love decorations, lights, Christmas cheer, spiced cider, fun stories, snowmen, presents, feasts, family, and friends. One would be a cold soul indeed to not take comfort in these simple pleasures. There is no war on Christmas. Although, when I was in West Hollywood back in October, there were quite a few street preachers waging war on Halloween. No one's fighting a war on Christmas. Even the religious aspects, you're free to adhere to them all you want. But there is a war waging, a battle over the future of this planet, over the education of our children, the next generation that will either lead humanity to traverse to higher heights than we've ever imagined, or thrust us barreling off a cliff towards ignorance and self-destruction in an anti-intellectual free-fall. When surrounded by sacred symbols in private businesses, religious teachings on billboards, holy monuments, public prayer, street preachers, and churches on every corner, is it really too much to ask that our public places, government buildings, and schools be kept neutral? That classrooms stick to what's observed scientifically and that our tax dollars not be spent to spread your religion? Your churches are already tax exempt, so I know they're not paying for any of this. If you're Jewish, you don't want the New Testament taught in school. If you're Protestant, you don't want verses from the Quran read at city council meetings or Hindu statues in your courtrooms. It's not just atheists who see the necessity of a secular government and the need for separation between church and state. It's not just non-believers who don't want you pushing your religious agenda in their children's classrooms. Most Christians want the classroom to remain neutral too, whether they realize it or not. Because opening the door up to one religion in the classroom opens it to all, including Islam and Satanism. When a handful of us complain that our tax dollars are paying to prop up your religion, you have every right to moan, whine, and pretend like you're persecuted. But cry me a river. You're not oppressed. You're the biggest bully in the schoolyard. You're just shocked that someone finally stood up to you. Because we're done taking your crap. I won't sit idly by while you spend our tax dollars shoving your religion down our throats. No one's taking away your free speech or your religion, but we also reserve our right to not believe your dogma. We've decided we will not drink your Koolaid. I get it. You see that people are waking up, thinking for themselves and delousing themselves of your religious doctrine, and that scares you. You desperately cling to your powerful, judgment-enabling religious toehold because you don't want to be yesterday's news, an obsolete afterthought going stale in the back corners of history's refrigerator. But guess what? Whether you like it or not, non-believers, atheists, we're the fastest growing group of people on the planet. 1 billion people are rising out of poverty and getting access to the internet for the first time. and the internet is where religions go to die. Humanity has made it this far through the proverbial winter, past the intellectual dark ages to the dawn of enlightenment. As we gather close with the people we love, let this winter solstice represent more than a seasonal change. Let it signify a brighter time for all of humanity. We're just at the dawn of the information age, on the cusp of a brand new renaissance. My friends, as most people celebrate a new year, I raise my glass to a new age. The future is always brighter, but only because we make it so. Have a fantastic holiday season. In the spirit of Christmas, please share this video and consider supporting me on Patreon if you can. I really couldn't make these videos without your generous help. Thanks so much for watching, and don't drink the Kool-Aid. Maybe try eggnog instead.
It's okay to say Merry Christmas again?
Well, happy holidays to you.